Okay, so when love falls apart, often you will hear stories from my female clients who will say things like, "Oh, he didn't return my call. He was unavailable. The relationship just died off. He didn't love me. It wasn't working. I clearly wasn't enough for him to make put effort into the relationship." And when I speak to these men in these relationships with these women, typically men who seek out these relationships will say to me things like, "Oh, I just didn't understand what she needed. Um, she said that there wasn't a connection. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to give her what she needed. I loved her. Nothing I could do was enough. I didn't know how to show her that I was there. She didn't believe me. I just kept buying her flowers and doing things for her, but she said she wanted an emotional connection, and I didn't know how to give her that. So I felt not good enough, and so I was scrambling at what to do. So I would just try to please her and give her what I thought she wanted. But I don't know. I guess I don't really know what that was. And in the end of the day, it wasn't working out. Um, and so I just started to, find a way out of the relationship because I found it too heavy. I couldn't deal with, the complaints and the criticisms about me, the accusations that I didn't care. It wasn't true. I just didn't know what to do. Now, what I just explained to you is two typical love styles that are mentioned in the book. And typically, men and women have different love styles, although they can vary, they can not always be the same for men and women. Um, and so, the real point of this book is to highlight to women that you may feel ghosted, you may feel unloved, you may feel he doesn't care, you may feel rejected. But the, I want you to understand something, that there's a possibility that what you're looking for in this relationship, what you're asking for, what you need, is not always achievable in your relationship with the man that you're with. So, for example, a lot of men cannot fulfill the needs within a relationship because they haven't had their own needs met. If they haven't met the needs within themselves, they can't respond at the depth of understanding you if they don't understand themselves yet. Um, and so, what we're dealing with, a situation where you may be stuck with an individual who hasn't been able to sufficiently work on themselves to be able to respond adequately to your needs. And so, with these different love styles, the book highlights how to be able to understand each other's love style and respond and understand your own love style in a way to form a connection by understanding how we enact our own patterns that protect us from feeling pain, and we go about love the only way that we know, which often um, doesn't always reach the result that we want to achieve. And so sometimes the way we seek love does the opposite, especially if our partner has a different love style. Now, in saying all of this, I guess the most important point to take from this book is that whatever you feel within yourself, whatever is going on deep down that has been unhealed, unprocessed, what core wound you have, will be the trigger points for your relationship. And it's those areas that will become the points that you struggle in your relationship when your partner triggers those wounds. And so the fear of rejection, the fear of feeling inadequate, the fear of um, you know, getting close and intimate will mean that the way that you protect yourself from those fears can sabotage love and push your partner away. And these behaviors are formed, and these early imprints, early attachment history and become reformulated and recreated in the adult relationship, whereby you repeat these patterns of trying to obtain love and protect yourself in the same way, and almost having the same expectations in your relationship, and seeing your partner in the same light, regardless of whether they fit that mold or not. And so it becomes very difficult when you see things in your partner and when you think of things that they're doing to you that really are a projection of a wound, a fantasy, a feeling going on inside of you. And so this book is about how to discern what belongs inside of you and working on those disowned parts of yourself that become projected onto your partner to heal, and how to reclaim those parts of yourself and work on them so you can bring your real self into a relationship and have an authentic connection and attract the kind of relationship, or cultivate the kind of relationship that is going to meet your desires, rather than reenact the patterns that protected you and relive the pain of feeling rejected over and over again. Thank you.